Hey guys, it's your boy Pat. Welcome back to the next episode of the Hollow Down Cigar Lounge podcast. We got another banger of a show for you guys today. We're going to be smoking a cigar that we haven't done on the show yet, having some more good chit chat. So let's introduce and bring in the homeboys who are going to be on the show with us this time. We're bringing in OG, Mr. Chad.
How you doing?
And then our new homeboy down below. This
What's up,
way
everybody?
somewhere. See, we're already doing the point thing.
Mine's easier. I can do just this.
Yeah, you're just, hey. See if you can keep up with that as we go, because we move around. So we've got a hey. See,
it's like the Brady Bunch.
It's harder than it looks.
The Brady Bunch. It is. You got to purposely go backwards. So the ring gauge on this one is a 6x54 Toro. So unless y'all are opposed to it, I say we go ahead and smoke it, get going on a beautiful cigar, and then we will have the entire show to talk about it. I'll just we are smoking, and let's let Chad show before he lights it up. We are smoking a Serino Royale Maduro 20. And I say we light these guys up, and then we're going to come back and talk about them and see what we think. So,
it's a beautiful footband on that. I like that.
It is.
It's a good looking cigar. I've smoked one of these before, and I remember it being good. So, it's been a while though.
I don't know. I've still got a little bit of sun over here to the side. You can probably, man, if I can find the sweet spot, see that band a little bit. It is a very gorgeous band. That does not do it any justice whatsoever for what y'all just saw. So
mine has a lot of glue on it, though. I'll say that.
There we go. There's a little bit of close up.
Nice.
Back to the straight cut. I'm doing a single torch today, only because I need to fill up my full quad torch.
I told you I
V-cut
this.
Time.
Did you V-cut? I did too.
Yeah, I did V-cut. Yeah.
I cut mine 2 days early though and threw it in the box.
Oh, you dry boxed it?
Yes. And I was telling Pat I checked the RH on it. It was right about 60, so that's about where I like it.
Ooh. Missed the bottom, didn't rotate. Party foul. So I will be the last one to tell you guys exactly my opinion, because I've smoked several of these. I purposely chose to bring this on the show because I like this cigar, and we haven't done any Serinos on the show yet. Chad has smoked one. This is his second, and if I remember correctly, Justin, this is your first one, right?
This is my first one. Yep, that's correct.
Okay, make sure I remembered that right. So again, this is we're smoking the same cigar, but on different timelines of, smoking and preference here. So you're going to have a multiple smoker, a second time, and a newbie on this stick. So it'd be interesting to see. Now, while we are lighting this up, getting our first hits, I pulled notes on this one from Leaf Enthusiast. This is not one, unless I missed it. This is not one that is on Cigars International yet, so we can't do our consistency there. So Leaf Enthusiast did a review on this several years ago when they first came out. Serino is a beauty brand. Carson Serino is the owner blender. He's got several lines. I know y'all have seen me the Cigar Fest. They were given to us, and it kind of opened us up. So I liked the ones that they gave us, and I just went on the deep end and started exploring. But Carson Serino got with Omar Alaman, if I'm pronouncing it right. He's a master blender in Cuba, so he wanted to bring the Cuban atmosphere to a Nicaraguan-based cigar. It's not a puro. The the fillers are all 5-year aged Nicaraguans. The binder, from what I saw, was still undisclosed, but the wrapper is an Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro. More of a medium full to full expected on the boldness. And these are the notes that they say you should pick out. So I'm not going to tell you my notes yet. Cedar, hay, some coffee and some earth initially. Spice and pepper work into it, and then it should finish with a touch of cocoa powder. So since they actually specify the 3 different periods, what are y'all seeing on your first light?
I retroed it right out of the gate, and I got red pepper, and my nostrils burned.
Okay.
So
you got
right now I'm getting a little bit of oak. I think some oak and some pepper is what I'm into, but I'm just getting started. So
Yeah, I got
more
the.
oaky to me than cedar. I don't get cedar. I'm getting like a heavy wood oak.
I
Okay.
agree with that, Chad. Yeah, I agree with the oak. I didn't get much cedar. I got some sweetness, almost early cocoa powder flavor.
Oh, so you got it early. Okay.
Yeah.
So
My palate's nice and fresh.
nice.
We pre-gamed.
Yeah, we did pregame. Stayed in the Maduro world, so I didn't flip but we didn't go too peppery or too dark or anything. So I get that hay at first light every single time. It gives me like a strong, overwhelming sense of just grass. I get like a touch of earth. I will also agree there is woodiness there, but I do not get a strong cedar. I went back and looked at some of my previous ratings on Box Press. I did say that I've gotten hints of cedar, but it's not overwhelmingly strong. Right now, I'm not getting. It's aged a little bit now. They've been in the humidor. This box has been in the humidor for a year and a half. I purposely wanted to let it age like I do. It's just straight woodiness to me. So I do only get the red pepper when I retro as well. I do not get it otherwise.
Yeah, right now it's still pretty spicy for me. I think as we work back, it'll start to get some different flavors, but
Maybe
a little
so.
bit of oak and a little bit of spice right now.
I'm getting the same. The pepper's definitely there. I get like a citrus burn in the mouth from it.
Okay.
On
Not
your
actual
tongue?
citrus. Yeah, not the citrus flavor, but that citrus
Yep.
burn, like you.
The tingle,
Right, the
the
little-
tingle you get from
Exactly.
when you douse some lemon juice on your tongue and it
Exactly. Yep.
Like a little
dribbles
tickle
up.
of a tinge.
Yeah.
I quickly became a fan of these. This was not the blend that they had at Cigar Fest last year. I believe it was just their Connecticut, if I remember correctly.
I was going to ask you about that because I know that you and Grace went and you usually get 2 cigars, 1 of each shade. And I got the Connecticut like you did last time. And it was good. I let it age for a year, which I know it's astonishing that I aged something.
That's a world record.
Proud of you.
But it was good. Yeah, it was really good. And this is surprisingly even better, actually. This is more up my alley with the darker, stronger cigars.
Was the 20 was the one you got that was a Connecticut is that a 20-year offering as well, or was that just a
This is the only 20. So they
20?
have
Okay.
in the premium series that I've had, you have the Connecticut, you do have a regular Maduro, and you have the Maduro 20. I don't think that there's a 20 in any other thing yet. I think it was just the anniversary stick for the Maduro. And even though I had Ellen with me, they were both Connecticut because the Connecticut was the only one that they were handing out the event. So we got 2 of the same cigar.
Yeah,
They
this
didn't
is
have
starting
these
to
out.
break now. The pepper's kind of going away.
I remember they
Lost your audio.
That's my fault. I hit the mute button again.
It happened earlier too. Right
Well,
in the
that's peachy.
onset when we started out, I was trying to go like this to let you know.
Well, that's peachy.
He was like a weatherman, like, can you hear me?
Well, oh well.
We do it
Oh,
live.
We do
It's
it
like
live.
it's like a cigar, man. They're handmade, so every once in a
They are.
while you have a screw up.
Well, I'll disclose this. So, I think I've showed you off air, but the microphone that I use now is a Rocat torch. A Rocat.
Oh, that's cool.
I like it a lot. It lets me keep things out in the open.
It's
Be
the
careful.
Thundercats microphone, by the way.
Thundercats, yeah, it looks just like it. However, what
Justin
I've
doesn't know anything about Thundercats, probably.
What
He's
you
too
talking
young.
about? I do
He's too
too.
young. Do you?
Right.
Oh yeah.
It was like a He-Man spinoff.
I look young, but I'm actually older than Pat.
He is actually. I love
Really?
that.
Yeah, I'll be
He's got me,
40 in April.
He's got me about
Oh.
3.5 years. I'm not mad about it.
So I'm only like a year older than you guys, huh?
Yeah,
Right?
Or 10.
that's right. I think me and Chad are around the same age, I believe, right?
That's right. We're close. We're close.
But,
I love your perspective, brother.
That's
So
right.
since I have no idea what audio cut out until I edit this, if you're watching this, as I have learned, because this is only my 4th or 5th show using this microphone, there's actually a mute and volume button on it. But what I have learned, and I still don't know how to control it, is now I'm going to do it on purpose. It's got a sensor right here.
Now it cut off.
Yeah.
It cuts off.
Oh, that's
And I'm-
weird.
Well, it's designed because this one can be here, but you can also take it off and put it like on a boom stand. So you lose the control. So that way, if it's right here, you can just wave under it if your control, because you can separate the control pad with the mic.
Oh,
So
okay, I got you.
I just got to get used to that. I love the mic though; it's been phenomenal for the quality. So anybody wanting a good podcast mic, this is great because see, I don't have to have earbuds anymore. It cancels out everything from the speakers. It's phenomenal. But I have that little hiccup, and that's a learning curve I haven't got yet. So that's on me.
So I can already tell this is going to be a super strong cigar. It's like I'm puffing on it, and my head's starting to sweat. So it's got some nicotine to it for sure. I don't know if you guys are feeling that. Maybe it's because I followed it up with another one. I had one before.
No, it's
It's got some
nicotine
bite.
usually doesn't hit me as strong, but I do get that heavy mouth palate,
Mhm.
chalky wateriness, whatever you want to describe it. So it's definitely got it.
I'm pretty nicotine resistant because I smoke several cigars a day and I also chew. So it doesn't. Normally, I don't feel sticks. So if I feel one, usually it's got a lot of power.
It's a good point.
I'm starting to get wood and coffee now, and the pepper's kind of dulling down.
I definitely got the coffee for sure.
Yeah, the pepper's dulling down for me as well. I'm getting strong leather notes now.
Getting the leather already?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I'll say already, but they didn't even mention leather, I don't believe. Interesting. But I like, that's why we do this. You get your different palettes and different notes.
Exactly.
Well, everybody's going to taste something different, right? That's just how it goes.
Right. Well, Chad, on an unrelated note, I'm going to let us just enjoy this and we'll come back and chit-chat on it and see what happens. So, I told you, me and Ellen, we went to, Vegas a few weeks ago. For her
Whirlwind
birthday.
weekend, yep.
I was hoping I was going to get video when we went on the Slotzilla. That is the 11-story Zipline, if anybody does not know. One, our 20-minute window took an hour and 45 minutes because something happened at the ticket office and it was not blocking off people that were buying certain times. So it just kept letting people buy at the same time. So there was about 150
They oversold
people.
a block of time then and just had a bunch
God.
of people they couldn't
It was like
service.
150 people all there for 9 o'clock. It was bad.
Somebody got fired that day.
Uh,
The IT guy got fired.
IT guy probably, but it was great. We got up there and well worth it. Didn't get the video, but got a couple pictures off the camera, so it was still fun. But I was hoping, Justin, I told him that when we went, I was going to try to get a video and bring it on the show, but I wasn't able to get the video. I just got a couple pictures of it, but it was still a fun time.
Yeah, I saw the still pics. You put some still pics up, right?
Yeah, I put a couple still pics up, and you know what? I'm gonna bless everybody with them and show. So you've got You got one with me where I'm Supermaned out because at the last minute I thought about asking the operator where the camera was, and that same camera got Ellen just chilling, just because she didn't know where it was.
That's definitely her pose.
It is, and you're gonna see it right now when this thing is edited. But they got her a couple good other pictures. But it was
Had you ziplined before? Is that
I've ziplined a lot. I just hadn't
Yeah.
ziplined there.
What about Ellen?
Yeah, and it's not. It's we've actually ziplined together before one other time since we've been together in Hot Springs.
Okay.
That was more of a traditional. That was at Adventure Parks, off of Lake Catherine, or right off Lake Catherine. It's actually they have like 10 different spots, and that's more what you think of when you think of traditional.
Of course, yeah, where you go
Yeah,
from
of
one
course.
station to the other. Yeah,
Right.
we've done that several times. That's fun.
That was fun. And we got to do all of. I think there was 10. We got to do 9 of them because one they just happened to be rebuilding while we were there. But it's fun.
The first time my wife and I went ziplining, we were on our honeymoon in Mexico, and some of the ladders and approaches to the zip lines are what we would call sketchy. You can tell that they use their best welders for some of these stands. Like, I was really like, I don't know if we should go up those or not. And they were
Made you feel real
sketchy.
safe.
Yeah, like you'd be up there, there's like 12 people up there, and the whole thing's swaying, and it's like, yeah, we made it out alive, but somebody has to have fallen off one of those at some point when it's broken. I guarantee it.
Reminds me of Six Flags in Arlington. My hometown has a lumber company. Well, there's two, but they've got a lumber company that made its fame because it won the contract to supply all the wood for the original Texas Giant when it was all wood, everything except for the metal track. And we always had the same effect because depending on what level of thrill you wanted, depended on what time of day you rode it. So if you rode it in the morning, it was nice and solid. If you go by to the end of the day, it is shaking. It feels like the whole thing's about to fall apart. And I actually saw a documentary one time about it. And I forget exactly how long, but the workers spend several hours every morning going back and like re-nailing, re-screwing, retightening things every morning because it was such good quality. Eventually the wood gave out, and it's now kind of a last time I don't even know if it's still there. I haven't been to Six Flags in a few years, but last year it was kind of a hybrid. They had to re-support some things, but
It's still there.
is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there. They refurbished a lot of the wood and metal and stuff. But back in the day, like you were saying, I do remember that it was either tight and rideable, or in the middle of the day when the wood starts to heat up and expand a little bit, you get a little, I don't know if I should be on this ride or not.
It's just bobbing and shaking and loosening things up all day.
It's so rough. Like,
I don't think I'd want to ride it at night.
It
I'd be a
rattles
morning
your
guy
face.
myself.
You're just like shaking like this the whole time, and you can't really see anything. It was a crazy ride.
Chad, you ever seen those? I don't even know what they're called. They're at the gyms and stuff a lot where you stand on them. It literally just vibrates you to like loosen up your lactic acid. Your whole body's just shaking.
My grandma used to have the thing where the belt went around you.
That's
You remember those? Did you ever see one of those? These ladies were convinced that it made them lose weight or whatever, so they sold
Right.
100,000 of them. Yeah,
Well, they should have just thrown the
salesmen.
Texas Giant every day because that was pretty much the same effect.
How's y'all's ash holding? Mine's holding pretty dang good.
I kicked mine off because
I do too. When I'm sitting here, the way I sit with my legs out in front of me, I don't want to be laying in ash, so I tap mine.
Yeah,
Usually
just
when
tap
we're
mine.
doing the show.
I don't want it to get on me.
I've learned out of necessity doing this show, when we are doing remote shows and I have the laptop in front of me controlling it, I ashed on my keyboard several times and had to do some cleaning. So I have learned when we are in recording mode, I will.
When I'm at home, I'll try to do, or when I'm by myself, I'll try to do it. But when we're doing this, I just don't want to have to deal with a mess.
I will tell you, we have gotten really lucky several episodes now of having incredibly smoke producing cigars.
I was just gonna say yours looks like you're in a barbecue right now.
And I've
Like
I've
it's all
got
smoky on your screen.
I've got the benefit of almost no wind right now, so you're actually getting to see what's coming off of it. It's not wafting off, so
Yeah, this is producing great smoke for sure.
I'm in the garage, but I got a bunch of fans going, so it's not too smoky in here. So it doesn't look like it's very smoky, but the smoke output is really good.
maybe I need to honor our man real quick.
Hey, so when's this going up? This when we doing this?
You know what? Screw it. Let's do it now.
Oh, all right.
Justin, since we're live and this is on the cuff, are you using your phone or can you see it? What method are you in right now?
I'm using my phone.
Okay, so you won't get to see this till we're done.
He can't be involved either. Let's just put that out there for this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You're exempt from this one because you're
you're
on the show
banned.
for announcing it. That's
Yep.
since you're on the show, you're gonna have to be exempt from this anyway. But we've done the photo caption contest, right? Well, Chad has been the glutton for punishment 2 times so far because of his expressionate abilities.
I don't know about
This
that.
one's on me. So I'm putting this. Unfortunately, Justin, you're just gonna have to imagine. And excuse me, you made me laugh. I inhaled a little bit of tobacco. So
They
It
say
all
you're not
started
supposed to
on the
inhale
last
these things.
episode when we were talking about doing this, and when you point, not going the right way, and so Pat goes like
yeah,
this, and
so
there's a picture of him just like that, and it's beautiful.
we started trying to point, and he realized he tried to do it too, and he's like, "Oh well, you can see, it's just whatever you said." He was trying to make fun of me, and then he did it back, and he's like, "Oh, I see what's going on here." And so we started making fun of each other with the whole thing, and I did this expression and my face was just gloriously retarded.
He looks like a T-Rex.
So you'll see it when the show's over. Everybody watching just saw it. That is the new photo contest. So as soon as this airs, I'm throwing that puppy up in the group. I don't know what I'm going to do as a giveaway right now, but it'll be on the Facebook post. There's going to be a giveaway just like we do of cigars or stickers or something. We're going to give away for fun. There's going to be some sort of gift. So that's what we do. We like excuses to give stuff away. So I need to see y'all's best captions of my idiocy this time. So let's go.
Yeah, I got to be out on this time since I won the last 2, and this would be the sweet prize I got. I mean,
It's
look
either
at
that or we need to
beautiful
figure out how
hat.
to manipulate the wheel, Pat. So if you put like 5 people in, he's got, should have 20%, but we'll make his piece like literally like 1% and then
So
make
the
him.
irony is that's actually a thing. You can actually weight people's slices, right?
That's what we'll do for him from now on.
Oh,
1%er.
come on.
You're a 1%er, bro.
Always have been.
The irony, Justin, is we actually were talking about it. It was like, man, we got to make sure he doesn't win second in a row. So we maxed out the wheel so it spun them as many times as it would allow. We did everything to make it fair, and it still barely. It almost hit Melissa, but then I think she was on the slice next to you, but it just kept cropped over, and I was like,
I mean, it was like right there that the last second it goes click, and then it hit me.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Melissa is him. So if Melissa would have won, the hat would still be on his head and he'd still be smoking the cigars.
right.
Actually, she would take that hat. She would. She saw the hat,
Oh,
and I got it out of the box, and I was looking at it, and she goes and snatches it. And I was like, hey. She went to the bathroom, and she was all like, I was like, it did look good on her. It did look good on her.
So what you're saying is she's letting you borrow her hat for the show.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Which it's fine by me because I'll take the cigar. She'll smoke whenever once in a
That's
while,
fair.
but And I did actually.
Go ahead, buddy. I'm getting a
Nice.
fleeting little sweet note like caramel, I think, right now. A little caramel. Cocoa caramel.
Yeah,
Or maybe coffee caramel. Coffee
Yeah.
caramel.
I agree.
I'm definitely getting strong coffee. Justin, have you? And I think I mentioned it with
Going with grapefruit today.
No tamarind, man. You're
Never again. Never
The
again.
Sour Patch Kid of drinks.
Never again. I brought my nubber.
I don't remember if this was with just you, Chad, or if it was with you and Ryan, but I mentioned Eddie Sahakian's way of testing.
It was with
flavor.
me, yeah. But yeah, Ryan might have been on too.
Justin,
No,
do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, it was when we did the Allure Aurora. You were talking
Was
about,
that
or you
it?
know what?
I don't
No,
remember.
I can't remember because I watch all the podcasts, right? So I feel like I'm involved even though I'm not in them.
Right.
But I remember you talking about chewing the smoke. I actually did that in the very beginning. Like, as soon as I lit up, I'd go, "Oh yeah, chew the smoke." Like,
I'll since I've mentioned it, I want to throw. I will do my best to go find the link to that. I think I know which video it was. It was with him and Kirby Allison on one of his London trips. I think I know which video. I will do my best to drop that in the show notes. It's a long video, but it's a good one if you like listening to the class of cigars speak. But he takes it in, his first couple of puffs, he's not worried about smoking it per se. He takes it in and just chews it around his mouth and moves the palate and wakes up all the taste buds. And it's ever since I watched that, I don't do it at the beginning like he does, but once I taste like a flavor change, I'll do it and kind of pull some extra notes out. So it's a simple palate move, but it's a smart one.
yeah, I do it throughout the cigar just so I can get my whole palate mixed in with all the different flavors, just so I'm getting the full benefit of all the flavors of the cigar.
Right.
That's not something that I normally do, but I'm going to start doing it like with my first couple pulls. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But you brought up something good about chewing the smoke, and it reminded me of, and you probably remember this, Justin, because you watched him all the time on CD. Like he did a show one time, and he was explaining to people how to retro. The easiest way to explain to people how to retro is to actually take a drag and then actually chew the smoke, and it will just start coming out your nose. So it looks like makes it so easy.
Yeah, because it opens up your passages freely, naturally, as your jaw's moving and everything. That's smart. I've never thought of that.
And it makes it super easy to understand how to do it, because people struggle with how to do it, right? But if you just put it in your mouth and close your mouth and start chewing, it'll just start coming out slowly.
When I first started smoking cigars, I couldn't figure it out. And then it was right about the time of turkey season. And I don't know if you guys have ever used a turkey call, but it's very hard to get it in your mouth the right way and start going chirp, 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 chirp. And so I was doing that simultaneously. Chirp, chirp, chirp. And then I kind of pulled my tongue back and then kind of blew out a little bit. And I was like, oh, there it is. But of course, as soon as I did it, as every beginner smoker does, it just burned my nose and my eyes started watering, and I was like, holy crap. But immediately after the pain,
do this?
Yeah, immediately after the pain, I started tasting all those notes. And so now I retrohale pretty much every puff now, and I love that little burning, sting sensation followed by the flavor.
The not to, and I've said this before, not to purposely, hijack the Serino show, but Secretos Don Dermas, I'm not as big of a fan of the original as I am the Golden Child, because the Golden Child is slightly smoother, and it, for somebody like me that doesn't, I've said that backwards, sorry.
Yeah.
I said that backwards.
The OG is much smoother.
The OG is smoother.
The Golden Child is full of pepper.
Right. I said that backwards. I knew it.
Yeah.
It came in my head right, if that counts.
No, that's good.
So, the original.
You did this in your head.
I did this in my head. So they're both good smokes, but I like the original better because I don't retro often, but when I do, the Golden Child hits. So I'm able to retro a little bit better on the original Don Derma.
Yeah,
so,
what I was telling Justin is he just bought some, and then we'll be about a year from now is when they're going to retro nice. Because I smoked my last one from last year right when I heard they were coming out.
Right.
And I smoked another one the other night out of the new box. They're completely different cigars.
They are
so much smoother. So
and I would imagine, if somebody like me that, well, if I didn't retro at all, then probably Golden Child would be better because it wouldn't be a factor for me because it does
Yeah.
have a little bit more of a punch. Or if I
But
just choose not to retro one.
it hits your nostrils pretty hard for
Right.
sure, especially if it's a fresh one.
But I probably only retro maybe 5 times a stick. I do it at the beginning. Anytime I feel like a big transition happening, I'll usually pull it then. Outside of doing it when you specifically like say something I'm trying to pull out. But if I'm doing it on my own, I do it toward the beginning. A few times when I feel transitions, and that's about it. I don't retro a whole lot.
I don't even realize when I'm doing it, but I think I probably do it about every third pull. I don't do it every single hit, but maybe every other hit or every third hit.
You kind of get your own style and habits of puffing and enjoying the cigar. So once you kind of create your own puff scenario, you're probably going to do it without even thinking about it.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think I probably do it more than I even know.
So Chad showed you what he was drinking. This is what I'm drinking. This is the
What
Sweet
is
Fang.
that?
Sweet Fang.
Sweet Fang by Panther Island Brewery. It's a peanut butter chocolate stout, and it is fantastic with a cigar.
It's much better than Nutter Butter. What Nutter Fluffer? What was it? Fluffer Nutter?
Fluffer
Yeah.
Nutter.
Yeah, it
Fluffer
brings
Nutter.
that chocolatiness out of the cigar that I get because I'm getting more of a dark chocolate from the cigar now, more than that cocoa powder. It's starting to resonate, I guess, or it's starting to get more into the cigar.
I'm getting more cocoa now too.
I'll apologize that y'all and the viewers didn't get my reaction because as soon as you said Fluffer Nutter, I dropped my head, and I know the camera was still on Justin, so y'all didn't see it, but I was in hell no expression mode for Fluffer Nutter. It has been referenced a few times and trash, but I won't digress. Maybe
It seems like it's so bad it comes up almost every episode.
dude, maybe
we
Sweet Fang
referenced the
is
Fluffer
better.
Nutter.
That's what it was, Sweet Fang, right? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, Sweet Fang.
Maybe that one is a better
It's
rendition
an awesome
of those.
little label.
It's
That
a
is
cool
cool.
can, man. Is it like the
Yeah.
Wolfman or?
Yeah, basically.
So do they have a whole line of like Halloween theme? Or-
No, they have all different kinds. So the Sweet Fang is like a brand. They have a Sweet Fang like raspberry stout, and then they have this one. This one was the first iteration of the Sweet Fang, and it's a local brewery in Fort Worth, and they just have phenomenal
So
beers.
does the raspberry have the same Wolfman on it, or is it a different character?
It's a different Wolfman, I think. Yeah, it's like a different character. I can't remember exactly, but it's got like purple and blue clothes or whatever because he had like a yellow flannel on or whatever. And they've changed it periodically.
I would be intrigued to try that raspberry stout. That just sounds intriguing.
I love raspberry stouts. I'm a big raspberry fan, a big chocolate and peanut butter fan, so they're both right up my alley. And I don't like light beers. I'll drink them if someone hands it to me, but I like stouts, like ales. Not a big IPA fan, but I like the colored beers, if that makes sense. The dark ones. Yeah.
You like something that's almost a meal, huh?
Exactly. Yeah.
I've said it before. I've never been a real big beer guy in general. There's a few that I like, but they're specifics. If I'm pulling anything amber colored, it's probably coming out of a bourbon or a rum bottle.
Yeah.
Just hops don't hit me as well as some people can drink beer when they're thirsty. I have the complete opposite effect. Hops dry my mouth out, so it's got to be the right one, like a Heineken or something that's purposely lighter. It just there's a few exceptions, but there's not many.
Now I know that me and Pat go through Carnival to cruise. Chad, do you do Carnival to cruise?
No. Well, we've been on several Disney cruises because that's what my wife prefers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But we've also done Royal, and then we're going on a Royal over spring break this year. So I like Royals.
The reason why I bring that up is because Carnival has a Red Frog pub, and they have like their own little microbrewery on the ship, and they actually make some really good beers. Really good beers. So I know Pat knows what I'm talking about.
Pat's belly up to the what is it called? The frog juice?
Red. Oh yeah.
So the Red Frog Bar and the Blue Iguana are two bars that's actually out there on the pool deck. Those are the traditional bars, but in the interior of the ship, usually deck 5-ish, depending on the ship, it's the alchemy bar, and they are dressed as chemists. There's
Hey, give
nothing.
me just 1 second. I'll be right back.
Go for it. So there's it's they're dressed as chemists. They do completely different mixes. There is nothing traditional about it. They have their own menu. They will come up with new stuff. So it's like they take the best mixologists, not just bartenders, mixologists that they can find, and come up with some of the craziest drinks and inventions that you would never imagine should be together.
Do they do cool stuff with like dry ice and smoking and all that kind of stuff?
They do all kinds of things, and it's different every time I go on the ship. So you never really know what to expect, what they're gonna do, but it's kind of hard to give you an answer because it's different every time unless you cruise back to back. That by the time you come back, there's gonna be something different, some new little display, some new drink. So it's kind of cool to see what they come up with.
I had to step away because I forgot to unlock the door for my wife and kids.
That's a little important.
Yeah, she was knocking on the garage. I was like, oh, whoops, I forgot to do that.
Yeah. Well, if you want to sleep in the garage, that's how you get started right there.
Seriously.
Yeah, I'm speaking of Carnival, y'all know I book out in advance. We've talked about it off camera. Our next one, and I'm damn sure I will talk about this a couple times as it gets closer. But on several cruises, I'm going on our first transatlantic or journey cruise or mover cruise, depending on what you know it by. Going out of New Orleans, going to Barcelona.
Oh, wow.
And it's a 16-day cruise from start to finish.
That's awesome.
They're moving the ship. Going to hit the Bahamas, and we'll have 6 days open water. That's the part I've never done, so I've never crossed the Atlantic. So we'll see how that goes. And then 2 Portugal Islands, 2 mainland Spain, and then we'll land in Barcelona. I'm working on scheduling dive points, but it's going to be in April, so the farther we get over there, the cooler weather will get, so there'll be some limitations. So we're working on to see where we can get underwater while we're on the boat too.
My wife always talks about doing that, something like that, taking something from Europe to the United States, like flying over there. That's what you're doing. You're flying to Spain, right? And then getting on.
Well, the other way. So we're driving
cruise
to
over, then fly back.
Cruising over, and then we're gonna spend just the day there, kind of explore town, and then we'll have to fly back the next day.
You will be doing that, and then I'll be on a cruise to Mexico for my big 40th.
Right, because you asked if I could join you, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a little busy. But
so same time, like the exact same time you guys?
No, I think mine's the 17th to the 21st. I don't know what dates yours are, Pat.
Yeah, he comes back 2 days before we drive to New Orleans.
Yeah. I mean, if it's anything like that last trip you had, you can just wing it. Don't sleep. Show up at the airport on no sleep. Go to Vegas for 4 days. Don't sleep. Go to work that night.
My problem is when we found the transatlantic, I had already booked a cruise with Norwegian because I want to try them one time. They've got cigar lounges on all but like 3 ships, so I even found the ship that got one. They still got their spots to let you smoke outside, but I've had a few buddies tell me that they actually enjoyed the legit cigar lounge. So we're going on an itinerary that we've been on before, just so we can compare the ship. Well, we got the transatlantic, made the dates work. I've literally mathed out my leave dates for 2025, and I have no extra days because of the transatlantic. So I would like to spend an extra day or 2 in Barcelona, but I can't pull that off either. So I've got no extra leave dates that are not unplanned for the next 13, 14 months.
That's a shame. You're going to fly halfway around the world and you won't get to see the cool ass city that you're going to be in.
I know. We'll get about probably 10 hours of daylight, but
So does that mean that you won't be able to make it to NFG? That's March 8th.
Correct. No. Because that's an off weekend. So as long as nothing comes up, we may be there.
All right. I guess I'll just have to be the only one that Eldon's throwing cigars at that day.
Yeah, we talked about it on the show. Me and Chad talked about it when you had told us. And at the time, I didn't know, but we went back and looked ahead. So I am off that weekend. It's just got to make sure nothing happens. So
in between, yeah.
Is Martin from down there too?
Eldon? He's in Houston.
Martin, is Martin from down there too?
Oh, yeah. I don't know about Martin.
Martin's right outside of Houston.
Yeah, he's a Texas guy too, I think.
Or in Houston. I forget exactly, but he's Houston for all intents and purposes. I don't need to say exactly where he lives, but he's Houston.
Yeah, Texas. I was just going to say Texas. Texas guy.
I don't.
It's a small state. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
it takes you 2 days to travel across it, but
Houston itself is bigger than some states, so I don't feel bad about saying Houston. It's like saying DFW. Like, okay, good luck.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah, my cigar's really starting to smooth out now.
Yeah,
no pepper at all.
Where are you guys at on your cigar?
I just took my band off.
I think me and Patt
probably
are
not too much. I'm probably not. Yeah, I'm probably ahead of.
I'm last again.
I'm a little bit ahead of Patt.
Really?
I just got close, so I took my band off.
That's a good shot of the band. I was getting a bad reflection earlier. That's a pretty good shot.
That is good.
I do really like these bands. Serino's got several lines that I do enjoy. The Bygone is more of a morning nutty cigar. Just got a real simple black and white band. Can tell
I have that one too.
I like that one. I'm about to have to get some more. Well, I can't right now because we have all dropped a lot of money on deals the last few weeks. So in the future, I will get some more. But I do like the effort and display that they put on this one. It's a pretty good band. And, you know, it sucks when you have a cigar that has a really good band and the construction is kind of haphazard, so you feel like it was misplaced. I don't know about y'all, but the construction on almost every one of these cigars I've had is pretty solid. It doesn't get soft until you get to that hot point, which
it's normal, yeah.
Yeah, mine's not hot at all.
We lost you, Patt.
I'm gonna get used to this mic. I swear.
Is there a feature where you can shut it off? Like,
I don't know yet. I'm
turn that feature off so that it doesn't do it to you.
I'm not even sure how I'm doing it. I guess it's just whenever I'm being exaggerative of my arms. I guess I'm getting too close.
We're cigar smokers. We talk with our hands. We move around.
I'm sure probably a simple a more simple effect is I probably adjust the gain and power on it and move it away from me, but that's a task for between shows. I'll figure it out though.
Yeah, so when is NFG? In March?
March
8th. Yep, March 8th.
That's a huge show, right?
It's pretty big.
It's kind of cool. I'm glad Justin introduced me to it because it's a big show in a not so big place. So it's interesting because you get the feel of like a homey kind of place with the amount of product and the amount of vendors like you're at a big place. It's an interesting vibe.
Yeah. I think I want to say it's their 10-year anniversary. This next one coming up. Yeah, I think so. I want to say it's their 10-year anniversary. It could be even more, but off the top of my head, I want to say it's the 10-year anniversary. So they should do something pretty big. And they have food, and then they brought the roast back this past year. They didn't do it, I guess, a few years before COVID and all that. But they brought the roast back. And
what's the roast?
So they take a comedian of some sort, or they take people through the crowd, and they roast other cigar vendors. They'll even roast you in the crowd. Yeah.
I didn't know if you were talking about food or if you were talking about comedy. So
no. This time they had burgers, which were actually really phenomenal. They were good burgers.
They were actually. I was surprised.
Yeah, and it was all free. The food was for free because not free, but you pay with it with your ticket.
Yeah, your event ticket just covers everything, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. What
Included.
is the cost?
Oh, what was it, Pat? $100?
I don't remember. I don't want to lie.
Well, I mean, if that's a yeah.
Let me
Well,
see if
I did VIP. I don't know if you did VIP, Pat. I want to say it was $100.
That's
Maybe,
reasonable.
maybe more. And you get a bag, you get cigars with it, you get little swag items. But what they give you is a sheet of all the cigar vendors, and they do it really smart. They go in there and you get a sticker, and like a sticker for what cigar you want. You get a bunch of stickers. You go to the checkout. You buy all your cigars there. Then you go back to the vendor with your stickers showing your proof of purchase, and then they just hand you the cigars that you've already bought. That way, each vendor isn't doing purchases one after the other, and you got long lines around one vendor. They do it that way.
Right.
So I just looked on Underground's Instagram. They posted 2 weeks ago. Starts March 8th at 12 p.m. Tickets go up on sale January 18th at noon, and retro pricing has been activated back to 85. So
That's cool.
So they went down a little bit in the price because I couldn't remember exactly, but you saying $100 sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Well, you had VIP and then you had general admission too. So that 85 price might be general admission, and they might bump you up $15, $20 more for VIP.
Maybe.
Which I highly recommend because I got in there early, and I got in there early, got my cigars, went to checkout. Even the checkout, it was a long line because there was a bunch of guys that just line up. And I saw guys they were spending thousands of dollars on just one ticket. Like dudes wait all year round for these cigars because they're one of a kind event smokes. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, a lot of stuff you sent me came from there. So I got some cool stuff from you.
Yep.
A lot of unreleased stuff, unbanded stuff.
Yep.
I've
enjoyed you got the unbanded by Rojas. What was it? The Cinco de Mayo. The Cinco de Mayo unbanded
before it came
version.
out. Yep.
That's
and then I got some Fallen Angels that were unbanded.
Yeah, that was Terrence Riley from Aganorsa. I love that guy.
And then I got
awesome.
that. You sent me 2 of those Cerberus
Calibras. Yeah, those weren't from
Calibras,
NFG. Yep. Those were a special release from a different website. But I did give you some of the Warfighter blends.
Yep, I still have a couple of those, or one of them.
Those
and
are
the Ohana Nuis, which we talked about the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
those are your buddies, right?
Yeah, Madison Money. Shout out to him. I'm sure he'll see this. He's a good dude. Matter of fact, bringing that up, I think it would probably be pretty cool, Pat, to bring him in and kind of discuss and smoke one of his cigars, the 262 Revere or the new one that just came out, the 9s. That'd be a good podcast.
I've smoked 2 of those. I think I have another one left, and they were like, I think when you gave them to me, they're like, I don't know what they are. They were unbanded. I don't know if they were test blends.
I know what you're talking about.
Awesome.
Yes. So they get their cigars made at the La Palina cigar factory. Yep. And so those were test blends from the La Palina, but they were test blends for Ohana Nui.
Yeah.
And Ohana Nui is owned by Ryan Rodriguez, and Madison Money is from 262 Cigars, but they're kind of like the same. I don't want to say they're the same company, but they're together all the time.
6 sister companies under the same umbrella in a way.
Yes, they have Ohana Nui, Timeout Cigars, and then 262 Cigars.
So and 262 is Madison's?
Yes, and 262, He told me a great story about it. 262 is February 1962, when JFK did the Cuban embargo. Oh. So everything he has a story behind it. It's fantastic.
I did not realize that. That's cool.
Yeah. He's a good dude. I've met him several times. Matter of fact, we're trying to get a poker night together.
We'll definitely reach out to him because
talking.
I'm not going to make any spoilers yet. Chad knows because he will be a part of something we're working on, but we do have a couple people lined up already. We just haven't set up dates yet that are going to come on the show. So we do have some people reaching out, or we're reaching out to, vice versa, trying to come on the show and just kind of hang out and just kind of be casual with, and give them a chance to be on the show, but not be on a show where they're getting drilled left and right like some of the others. So the benefit of being a small scale for fun show is, there's no money or bribes involved, and there's no expectations of media involved. We just get to enjoy cigars and conversation. So we do have a couple of things lined up in the future, specific things lined up. I'm just not going to say what yet, and so it'd be cool to reach out to him as well. So when the time comes, we'll definitely do that, because I think that'd be pretty cool.
And
a great
I'm
idea.
very surprised by this cigar. This cigar is fantastic. The draw is perfect. The ash is perfect. No touch ups. Like, it's a really good cigar.
And price point. So, Chad, I was smart enough. I actually came prepared and looked this up this time.
Because I ask every time.
You ask every time.
How much does this cost, Pat?
When they first kind of started getting published or produced, which I want to say is, if we haven't hit 10 years, it's getting close, since the reviews started coming out. I forget exactly when they started being produced, but they were about $14, $15 then. Now I'm seeing them around like 10 boxes for, or $10 for individuals, comes out to about $9 or so if you're getting a box. And this was not the case when I bought my first Serinos. I went directly to their website, partially because we had the event coupon code, and then I bought stuff with them since. This cigar is now on Cigars Daily, FYI.
Oh, nice.
So you can support Serino and Tim at the same time. I did not know that until today. I was looking up a price update and was like, "Oh crap! Hey, you're on CD." So, which we don't specifically point out, one shop, but we all have several that we trust and think do a good job, and obviously Cigars Daily is in the top 5 of that list. With places
Top
like,
notch, yeah.
I learned everything from Tim.
Oh God, that dude's a genius. And
when I first started smoking, I went on YouTube, and actually before I even started smoking, I was like, man, let me get into cigars or try to see what it's all about. And immediately Cigars Daily came up, and he just does such detailed reviews. He's an all around good dude, and I've had several personal conversations with him.
Same, haven't gotten to meet him in person yet, being in Phoenix, but several, social media conversations. And kind of like we talked about Steve Stock in the past, Tim's very good at communicating with people. So,
yeah.
But so you can get these on Cigars Daily if you want to give them a shout, give them a try. If you've never heard of Serino Cigars, by all means, go give it a shot, because these are banger cigars. They very quickly became a cigar that will stay in my rotation, which is why we like to go to cigar events, because sometimes you find things you never would have seen before. And now they're going to be in my rotation. I may not have loads of them at a time, but when I run out of this one, I will replenish it. So it's in that group of cigars for me. And it's finishing nicely.
That's
we're going to run
saying. Yep.
We'll be finishing this when the show cuts off, but very smooth, very solid, very flavorful. It's staying consistent. I've gotten every note that they say, except for the specific explanation of cedar. I still, at the beginning, I was right there with you, Chad, of saying it was straight up oak. Towards the end, it doesn't necessarily seem straight up oak, but it's still a generic woodsiness. So I still don't think I'm gonna pinpoint it to being cedar with my palate, but it's still a wood tone that goes great with everything else. The coffee, the earth, the hay was at the beginning. It kind of tapered off when you started getting the cocoa powder, but it's blended very well. It's very well
I would say I'm getting hints of chocolate still too,
same
solid wood and then hints of chocolate. But it's super smooth. It's smooth right out.
And I'm pulling one of our routines. I've got my CFW Trash Panda Roma all stickered up cup over here, but it's just got Dr. Pepper in it today. So that caramel notes in your Dr. Pepper is mixing well with this.
Yeah, I think that when you're drinking something sweet, it helps me at least to find sweet notes. If I'm drinking something more like coffee, like sometimes black, I won't pick as many of those sweet notes out. So I think it kind of helps your palate to work towards those sweet notes when you have something sweeter. And Dr. Pepper is the best thing, I think, to drink while you're smoking a cigar if it's a soda.
It is.
23 flavors.
23 flavors.
Well, you Texas boys know all about that.
I was at work the other day, and there's several of us that love Dr. Pepper, and I was swinging through the ER, and one of the doctors looked at me and my friend, and they're like, "Why are y'all so into Dr. Pepper?" And like it was on cue in a skit, there was about 8 people, some of which were not even in the conversation. We all yelled, 23 flavors. Duh.
Yeah. I got a question for you guys, and you may or may not have been following it, but the Tyson Jake Paul fight, who you guys got?
Well, I want to believe that Mike Tyson's going to destroy him, but we'll see. He's so old, and Jake Paul's so young. That's the advantage he has. Can he box? I don't think he's a great boxer, but lots of people do. What do you think?
What do you think, Pat? Oh, we lost your audio. There you go.
I agree with Chad. I think he pretty much said my point. I think it's going to be a great fight. Unfortunately, by the time I get this edited and aired, the fight should be over because I won't quite get it up quite in time. But I think Tyson's gonna come out on top. I hope it's a good a fight as we expect. I just don't think Paul's gonna quite be able to pull it up. And I had a buddy that made a comment, I'm not 100% sure how this arrangement happened, but when they shrunk down the times in the rounds, they agreed for a shorter fight. And I think that's to Jake Paul's disadvantage because Tyson's
I agree with that.
He's not going to have to pace himself as much. He will have a shorter time window to just come out rocking, socking, and give it everything he's got before.
What's the time on the rounds?
I think I read that it dropped to 2 minutes. I believe
2 minutes. Okay. Are they doing 10 rounds or less?
You know what? I saw a conversation. I didn't see the final mark, so forgive me for not knowing that answer. But
yeah, I'm not too sure either.
So, Justin, what's your take?
I've got Tyson all the way. He's got that old fighter in him. There's videos on the internet of young guys and old guys boxing, and sometimes when you still got it, you still got it. Now
he hits different. Like that's the thing
absolutely.
that Jake Paul's never seen is somebody who hits like him.
And
he's old, but
yeah, there's a giant controversy. A lot of people are like, it's rigged anyways. No sense in.
That's part I don't know if I believe any of it's real, to be honest with you.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it is kind of it's not a real boxing, exactly. But I think if Tyson comes out of the gate swinging hard, he may just get Jake just right. I don't think it's going to be a knockout. I don't think either one of them are going to knock him out. But if it happens, that's great. I'd love to see Jake Paul get knocked out. But at the same time, like as far as the rigged, I don't think they're going to let Tyson lose. They're not going to, discredit his name like that because that'll be the last thing everybody remembers. So I think that as far as the media as money is concerned, Tyson's going to win either through decision or a knockout.
Well, by most likely, if my anticipations are correct, by the time this airs, we will get to find out if our predictions held true.
Yeah.
But as we have the favorite time of the show with the cut and the light, this is our least favorite part of the show when we have to say goodbye to all our friends and Hollow Down family out there that hung out with us, smoked another fantastic cigar with friends. again, Serino Cigar Show. By all means, if you have never heard of this brand, this would be one to go try. I believe this
Worth
is
picking
one
up.
that your money is worth the experiment and trying it, because it paid off well for all three of us. And now that Justin has finally smoked his first one, well, of this one, it's not his first Serino, it's his first of this blend. I think we are all very well pleased, as hopefully you have picked up from us. So
This will be a definite repeat.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being on the show. As always, this has become a much look forward to pleasure of mine, getting to bring you guys in. And if you're watching at home or listening on the road, appreciate you hanging out with us. And as always, you guys know the drill. Stay safe and hollow down.
Go Tyson.
Maybe Paul won't lose an ear.
Right.